English podcast. There's something oddly comforting about that moment when you sit down to study, all motivated and ready to dive into a mountain of textbooks. Then, bam, out of nowhere, your eyelids turn into lead, and your brain decides it's time for a nap. No warning. No, hey, you might feel a little sleepy soon, just straight to full-on drowsiness. It's like your body gets a secret memo that says, it's study time, so let's take a nap. Now, let's be clear. This isn't the I stayed up too late kind of tiredness. This is the kind of tiredness that arrives out of nowhere, like an unwanted guest at a party. Except this guest is your own body deciding that sleep is more important than learning. It's as if the second your mind touches a page, your body pulls out the emergency sleep button and presses it. And let's not ignore the fact that you've been drinking water, getting your fair share of sleep, and maybe even trying to do some breathing exercises to stay awake. But nothing works. You find yourself reading the same paragraph 6 times, and when you finally close the book, you realize you've forgotten everything you just read. It's like your brain is playing hide-and-seek with you. And guess what? You're always it. Now, you might be thinking, why is this happening to me? You've got all these grand plans to be productive, to learn new things, and maybe even ace your next exam. Yet, it feels like your brain is locked in a battle with your eyelids, and the eyelids are winning. Well, here's the thing. It's not you, it's science. More specifically, it's the way your body and brain deal with focus, energy, and just the simple act of trying to concentrate on something for a long time. It's a dance of chemicals and rhythms that, when things aren't quite right, make you want to crawl into bed with a good book. Except you're not reading, you're just snoozing. This is the part where you think, okay, what can I do to fix this? And honestly, the answer isn't as simple as drinking more coffee or trying to power through it with sheer willpower. You see, when we study, we're asking our brains to focus intensely. But when the brain is overworked, tired, or even slightly stressed, it pulls the emergency sleep lever. It's like a protective mechanism trying to reset itself before it burns out. So, instead of fighting it, maybe we need to rethink how we approach learning. Could it be that the solution isn't more focus, but better focus? But hold on, it's not just about the biology. There's another sneaky little thing we're all guilty of: the distractions. If you're sitting down to study, but your phone is within arm's reach, your mind is constantly torn between scrolling and studying. Your brain craves variety, stimulation, and let's be honest, the moment you get bored or tired of the task in front of you, it looks for something else to entertain it. That's why it's so easy to drift off to sleep during study time. The brain is bored out of its mind and decides to sleep instead. So What can we do about it? First of all, don't be so hard on yourself. This sleepy study thing is a universal experience, and you're not alone. If anything, this sleepy brain is just trying to protect you from burnout. That said, there are ways to train your brain to fight the urge to nap when you need to focus. You've probably heard this 100 times, but it's true. Breaks are your best friend. The trick isn't to study for hours on end. It's about short, intense study sessions followed by breaks. These breaks don't have to be long. Just a minute or two to walk around, stretch, or even look out the window. When you come back to your work, your brain will be refreshed, and you'll have a much better shot at keeping the sleepiness at bay. Another thing is variety. Switch up your study methods. Mix in some videos, interactive exercises, or even different study locations. The brain loves novelty, and a little change of scenery might be just what you need to stay engaged. And if you really need that nap, give yourself permission to take it. Sometimes the best way to defeat that overwhelming sleepiness is to accept it. Set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes, and when it goes off, wake up and try again. Sometimes a short nap can refresh you more than an hour of forced studying. In the end, it's all about balance. Yes, studying is important, but your health and energy levels matter just as much. So, the next time you catch yourself struggling to stay awake, maybe it's not about forcing yourself to push through. Instead, it's about listening to your body and giving it what it needs. Whether it's a break, a nap, or just a change of pace, your brain will thank you. Thanks for your time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. See you next time.